Hello there. This is Monday and it's Motivational Monday by Jim and Lucy. Today we have very interesting subject, and this subject has been used in articles, in books, and in conversation constantly, and even more since the pandemic started, because this is something we all had to deal with suddenly, and many of us have been doing this for years now, but many others have been quite skeptical but have to switch and look into that direction right now. And we are talking about side hustles.
Yes, I like to think of an emergency. This is Jim here. I like to think of an emergency situation is a circumstance that we knew that might evolve, but we didn't plan for. Now, no one could have, I shouldn't say that most of us could not have predicted the pandemic, but we all knew that our jobs were not permanent, and there's no such thing as permanence in the universe. Stars die out, planets collide, planets die out as well. There's nothing permanent. There's no security in the universe. So yet all of us somehow cling to this notion that our jobs are going to be secure, our health that's good today is going to be good tomorrow, the relationship that's great today is going to be great tomorrow. If we just keep doing the same old thing and not being innovative or being adventuresome to try different things, we refuse to believe that any of it could end, and yet here we are now. And a lot of us are caught unaware. We can't control what we are in the circumstances of the pandemic. But you can control, and you should have foreseen that emergencies are going to happen. That, for example, how many of us would have thought that movie theaters, for example, would have become almost obsolete? We knew they were driving that direction with Netflix going away from the emergence of Netflix, for example, and then streaming by Disney, by ESPN, by Hulu, by everybody now that now has a streaming line. We knew it was going the same way the direction of cable was going. And yet, look at taxi drivers. They didn't foresee that Uber or Lyft and other companies were to be coming on board, but they should have known that something was going to happen. Technology was going to change the way things were. And we all should have saw it, and we all should have planned for it. Now, here we are right now, restaurants that we thought was the greatest restaurants, food and alcoholic beverage companies to be obsolete, home improvement retailers. We didn't imagine any of those things. Now look at baseball, football, all those things that we thought we couldn't live without. We thought they had a certain level of permanence in it. Well, they don't. Even the way education was designed didn't have a certain level of permanence attached to it. And now we're wondering, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is have to reinvent. Now, what can you do right now with your family? You can take what you've always thought of maybe being a side hustle or a new way, a gig or an idea in the back of your mind. What can you do now? Well, you want to make muffins. You want to have a bakery shop. Well, you still could. You just have to reimagine having the bakery shop and the muffin shop, or being a tailor or whatever it is. You have to reimagine it in a way that others didn't see it. It doesn't mean those things are not needed anymore. Sure, no one's wearing out shoes like they used to. We don't go out as much anymore. And automobile tires aren't wearing out, and people aren't doing those things anymore. Paper mills should have saw things changing and should have reinvented themselves, but they didn't reinvent quick enough, and now many of them obsolete. And most of the businesses that are going obsolete right now in the pandemic are gone forever.
It could be very scary, and side hustle, we live in times when side hustle became necessity, and for many people it's the only way to survive, to pay bills somehow, to cover rent and minimal groceries or minimal medical bills. And many people, even more people right now, start looking that direction, not just to try but to survive, to find ways to survive. I remember I started freelancing 6 years ago, and the subject was already booming. especially in US and in many other countries, millions and millions of people start joining like every day. Its communities start growing and everybody start trying. Of course, not everyone succeeds, and I heard many times that even recently I've heard the person complaining, saying all those freelancers, they're always broke. Not all of them. If you work hard and this is your full-time adventure and you try and you find new ways, you find a way. Every big business started from something small, from something simple, and absolutely each and every entrepreneur went through her or his own failure paths. We all did. It doesn't mean you don't have to try. Gig economy is a popular term right now. Not many understand what is it, as well as idea economy, so-called. Idea economy been presented a couple of years ago by James Altucher in his blog, and idea economy means that you can take that idea and transform it into business, which actually correlates pretty well to gig economy. It's also freelancing and what it means that you manage your time. And it's been here also for decades, for years, because actors and writers have been having this flexible schedule, this flexibility all the time. They don't have to go to office. Now with technology, with digital tools and with changes, we've noticed across absolutely every industry there are many more jobs that can be done remotely. And since the pandemic started, even more of those companies who have not been considered any remote position switched radically. Of course, many people have been laid off. But look at the history. Right now, just imagine the paper office 20 years ago. How many people worked there? With all the real paper, typing and typewriters and editors and all that stuff and all this stationery and all this things been bought and spent a lot of money, and there are many people who are working there. We don't have that anymore. We don't need it. Those people have been laid off because technology changed it. And since the pandemic started, we noticed even more radical change, not just because of technology, but because of the situation we are in right now. Of course, not everyone recognizes and following the rules or currencies and everything, but still, the world around changed, and it happened pretty fast. That's why many people having hard times dealing with it. And this is when the side hustle become new normal, because it's not side hustle anymore. It's the means to survive. The gig economy and freelancing, it's new normal. I mean, if a year ago, still many people being quite skeptical about freelancing. Oh, you don't even have office. Oh, you have flexible hours. Right now, when you hear freelancer and freelance career and remote business, people will look with more interest than skepticism. That's how it changed.
It sure does. I mean, did you realize that over 79% of small businesses in the United States are by self-employed people? That's quite a high number. And some are successful, some are not successful, just like anything. But that makes an opening for you. How can you turn your business to change, to provide a need that someone else is missing? Remember, the secret of success is to find a need and fill it. What can you do? Make a list of all the things that you think you're good at, all the things you think you're not good at. All right? And then just put the list together and think about who would pay me for my advice. What hole in the universe would this fill? Now, you may have a niche where there's only a certain amount of customers, but guess what? In times, research shows that when times are lean, a person who fills a niche as opposed to a person who's a generality, who's general, who goes out and try to fix everything, they don't make as much money. It may seem counterproductive, but you don't want to be a one-shop fit all. You want to be someone has a specific need and they come to you, because there are many people that are generalities that can't fulfill that need. They don't have the skills. But if you were doing work that wanted to work targeting only dentists or work at only targeting other businesses, then okay, then do it. Be the best at it. And you can do all of it online. Nobody's going to invite you to their home or to their business to see them anymore nowadays. All right? Then you just spend. Just change that because all the technologies you need are right there online. Now, it may surprise you that Lucy has been phenomenally successful at helping people create new businesses and marketing plans. Now, right now you're having one. If you think you're in a place with an income or something that's secure, you must be living in a different time zone someplace in the world because you're not facing reality. Nothing is existing like it was before. Your employer is going to find a way, if they haven't already, and you're already decided that we can do more with less because of technology. And that's why companies were laying people off before the pandemic for that very reason. They don't need them all anymore now. And it's not personal. It's just the way it is. But Lucy is extremely successful, very, very adept at doing this. And I would suggest you're arranging time to work with her because she can take your dreams and uncover them in a way and help you find what you're really, really good at. She can uncover it, and that's like peeling a banana or an orange and get down to the fine-tooth layers and help you find what you can do better than you can do it yourself.
It is a unique system to develop your freelance career, starting from defining what you're good at and what you can do, what gap can you fill in the market. And there are many tools I have at my disposal, and I help over 120 freelancers around the globe to start and grow from zero. So send email right now, and I will be here to help you.
Where should they send an email, Lucy?
Lucy at WoodsCovallowaGroup.com.
How do they spell WoodsCovallowaGroup.com?
Oh, they know.
They know? Okay. Is there a phone number they can call to also schedule an appointment with you if they can't wait? Because if I were you, I wouldn't be waiting right now. I'd be on the phone calling Lucy. I don't know about you, but money is scarce. And right now, you're listening to this, you're probably sitting back saying, we have this much left and we have this much less and nothing else is coming in. I would suggest you get on the phone right now and schedule an appointment with Lucy. And what number should they dial, Lucy?
+1 720 316 2534.
Oh, I bet you probably missed that one. What the number again, Lucy?
They know the number.
They know
you
the
can
number.
find number in the comments, in the description of these episodes, and we will be here for you next Monday with the next motivational piece. As you can see, Jim had quite a bit of coffee today. So we're going to go to have our 10 break.
I don't know what you're doing in the house right now today, but I ran 9.5 miles this morning on the treadmill. All right? On Sunday, I ran almost 15. So I would suggest that you start getting yourself revitalized. I did not feel like it. My body does not want to do it. But you know, I have this image in mind of what I want to look like and feel like. I would suggest you do the same thing. And one way to do that is working with Lucy. Eliminate your fear and go to work with her right now.